BFF ditched our long-planned vacation after her boyfriend proposed. My BFF, let's call her Anne, has a boyfriend. Let's call Mark. Originally, we were supposed to take this trip in early 2020, but that kind of didn't happen due to COVID. We luckily managed to get a refund on the majority of things. This trip served two main purposes. Firstly, for a vacation we have both wanted to do since we were young. And secondly, she was going to go see a big chunk of her mom's side of the family she has not seen in over a decade. It was kind of split 50-50 since this was supposed to be almost a 2-month trip. I have been saving for years now. One thing to note is that Anne is fluent in the primary language of where we are vacationing, while I am not. I can talk to some city people enough to get by, but once I leave and the slang and dialects start popping in, I am lost. It was just supposed to be me and Anne. However, a last-minute addition was made with her, including her current boyfriend of 3 years. This was more or less dropped on me pretty much 2 weeks before we left. I was unhappy with this because it messed up a lot of plans, but I begrudgingly accepted him after we reworked some stuff. However, I told Anne multiple times and her boyfriend that this trip is about us, not Anne and her BF. The first night we were there, Mark dropped to one knee, pulled out the ring and asked her to marry him. Since then, I feel like a third wheel who is no longer welcome on this trip. This has changed everything. The trip is now basically about Anne and her new fiancé. Multiple times we had a lot of plans, including some stuff that was paid for, and instead, she ended up ditching me to go spend time with Mark. Tomorrow we are supposed to catch a train and travel for the next leg of our trip, and she wants me to go alone. Instead, she confronted me and that she needed at least a week to figure out her feelings and organize her thoughts. So instead, they booked without telling me, some fancy couples thing. Instead, she wants me to go on a trip alone. As a woman in a country I can barely speak the language. Even worse, I am going to have to show up to some extended part of her family alone and ask to stay there. She said it was fine, but it was not comfortable at all. I tried to talk to her, and she got really upset and told me, this vacation isn't just about me. And that hurt me a lot. Now, pretty much, I am going to spend Christmas alone in a country where I don't speak the language. I got pretty emotional and asked her, what am I expected to do? She got defensive and said it was just a week. We're here until early February, and she assured me that we would meet up on New Year's Eve or the day after. My question is, how can I talk to her and make her understand that she cannot just ditch me without coming off like a massive a-hole?
Here are the top comments.
Friendship is dead, my friend. I would accept that you need to rework the trip for yourself to take as a solo trip. She doesn't care for you or your safety and comfort. It sucks, but how much are you supposed to take? Spend the extra money to be safe and hopefully she doesn't owe you any money. If you owe her money, I would keep track of your extra expenses and then let her know you're taking it from money you owe her.
You can't make her treat you with respect. You can change your plans to prioritize how. You can have a good time with the money and time you have dedicated to this trip.
Honestly, go your own way and don't meet up with her again at any point during the trip. If you can afford it, don't stay with her family for any of the rest of the trip. Just ghost her and fly home the day before you were supposed to leave with her. If you get an invitation to the wedding or to be a bridesmaid or maid or honor, decline and do your own thing. She just showed you who she is. It's time for you to believe her.